comment,
and subscribe for more content.
Where's the notification bell?
It's to the right of you.
Oh.
What's up, guys? Welcome to this edition of a Funko Popcast, a new fandom-related podcast, more specifically titled Battle Royale, the Fortnite podcast. I'm DK Wrestler.
And I'm Robbie D.
And today, like I mentioned, it is a Fortnite fandom-related podcast, which if you had asked me when I had started the fandom-related podcast with MD in 2020, if there was ever going to be a Fortnite podcast, I'd probably tell you that hell had to freeze over first before that happened. But here we are, 2022. Things have changed. I've actually played Fortnite since then and actually enjoy the game, play basically every single night. Robbie plays it also, which I thought he was more perfect for this pod than MD, who does not play Fortnite. So I thought realistically, I would kick off by talking about how did you get into Fortnite, Robbie? Because I think we all had that same perception before playing, not even being played before. It's like, this game's stupid. And then you play it and it's like, all right, it's not that bad of a game.
Yeah, actually, you couldn't have said it better. Honestly, I think the fact is that I was just like, you know what? I kept getting bugged by my cousin and our buddy Tyler to play it and then give it a try. And then I finally did. Yeah, I think it was also the fact that my cousin Sean also bought me the battle pass, even though that season that we were playing in was about to end in a week or two or whatever. So I started playing right at the end of chapter 2, season 6. Ever since I've been playing it, so it's been pretty fun.
That was actually going to be my next question, is which season was it that you started, which I believe that was the season before I started, because I think the season I started was right near the end of chapter 2, season 7, which I believe was the season with the Rick Sanchez as the tier 100 battle pass skin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe so.
But anyway, so for this Fortnite podcast, we're obviously doing it because as this gets released, it will actually be marking the 5-year anniversary of Fortnite, or at least what Fortnite acknowledges as the 5-year anniversary, because actually the 5-year anniversary on a technicality was on July 25th, 2017, where it was the Save the World campaign early access. And then in September of 2017, more specifically, September 26th, 2017, on my notes here, is when Battle Royale started, which is basically what everyone plays. I don't know how many people actually play Save the World, or at least people that I know, because I believe Save the World, if I'm not mistaken, is the campaign mode, and the Battle Royale is obviously, the free-to-play mode, and it's cross-platform. You're able to take out people. And obviously this game, the genre is survival, Battle Royale, and sandbox. Developer and publisher is Epic Games, and the platform you're able to play Fortnite on could be Windows, Mac OS, which I did not know that, because who knew that I could probably play Fortnite on my Mac instead of my Xbox. Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X/S, iOS, and Android. So there's a lot of different platforms you're able to play on. And in case somehow maybe you're new to Fortnite and you need a little synopsis on how Battle Royale is. So 100 players skydive onto an island and scavenge for gear to defend themselves from other players. Players can fight alone, which is solo, with one additional player, duos, 3 players being trios, or with a group of 4, which is squads. As the match progresses, the playable area within the island gradually constricts, giving the players less and less room to work with. Outside this safe zone is the storm, which inflicts damage on those caught inside it, with the amount of damage growing as the storm itself does. The last player or team alive wins the match. Which, how we're going to divide this podcast, we have it into 3 different sections as terms to the different chapters and seasons. And then obviously we will end it like every fandom related podcast with what Funko Pops we want to see next in said lineup. So obviously today is Fortnite. So the first section we're going to look at, which I think is going to be the biggest section, if I'm not mistaken, is all of the pops that are involved from chapter 1, season 1 to 3. Starting off with season 1, we have ourselves Crackshot, which is a legendary skin exclusive to Walmart, Mary Marauder, which is an epic skin, Red Nose Raider, which is a rare skin that was a GameStop exclusive for the Funko Pop, Raptor, which is a legendary skin, Skull Trooper, which is an epic skin, which there's a common pop, there's a glow in the dark pop exclusive to Walmart, and then we have a purple Skull Trooper that released as an E3 2020 exclusive. And last but not least, for season 1, we have Ghoul Trooper, which was an epic skin during season 1. Then we got season 2 skins, which actually, by research, the first season supposedly that actually introduced the battle pass. So first off, we have Black Knight, which is a legendary skin and a part of the season 2 battle pass. Bright Bomber, which is a rare skin, which there was a common pop and a metallic pop that was exclusive to Amazon. Codename ELF, which was a Target exclusive. It's a rare skin that came out during season 2. Cuddle Team Leader, which is a legendary skin, which there is a common pop and there is a flocked pop that was exclusive to GameStop. High Rise Assault Trooper, which is an uncommon skin that came out during season 2. Love Ranger, which is a legendary skin that came out during season 2. And there's also a metallic version that was exclusive to Best Buy. Tower Recon Specialist, which is an uncommon skin. And last but not least, for season 2, we have Sparkle Specialist, which was an epic skin that came out during the season 2 battle pass. And then the last season for this section is season 3, which first off, we have ourselves Moonwalker, which is an epic skin for the season 3 battle pass. Dark Voyager, which is a legendary skin that was also in the season 3 battle pass, which there is a common version of the pop and also a glow in the dark that was a New York Comic-Con 2019 shared with Target exclusive. Rex, which is a legendary skin during season 3, which also has a glow in the dark Target exclusive pop. Burnout, which is an epic skin. Raven, which is a legendary skin. Havoc, which is a legendary skin. Triceratops, which is a legendary skin. A glow-in-the-dark pop of Dark Vanguard, and that is just the pop itself. It's a common glow-in-the-dark pop, which is really cool. A glow-in-the-dark Battlehound, which is an E3 2019 exclusive, and Battlehound is a legendary skin. Loot Llama, which isn't actually a skin, which we will get into that obviously in a little bit, which has 3 Funko Pops released. There's a common 4-inch version, a glow-in-the-dark 4-inch version that was a San Diego Comic-Con 2019 shared with Walmart exclusive, and a common 10-inch version of Loot Llama. Tomato Head, which is an epic skin that released during season 3. And last but not least, we have Leviathan, which is a legendary skin that released during season 3, which I guess I'll mention to you, Robbie. You don't have to talk about all these if you don't want to. You can talk about whatever ones you want. If you want to talk about all of them, that's cool, because I'm probably going to talk about all of them, but you have a choice here.
I'll probably just go through ones that I actually like, which seems to be cool to me. So I'll start off with Crackshot. This looks pretty amazing, and honestly, the detail with this, I think Funko nailed it. This reminds me of like the Nutcracker guys, obviously, because that's, I'm guessing, is what it's based off of. Obviously, in one hand it has what seems to be like some sort of like candy cane, like probably like pickaxe thing or whatever, and on the other hand it looks like he's throwing up a too sweet. But no, anyways, no, it's a pretty cool pop overall. I like the codename ELF, pretty awesome. I think Fortnite and Epic, they do a pretty amazing job of making different like Christmas characters for Fortnite. Cuddle Team Leader, both a common and a flock, that look pretty nice. The Rex, I like the glow in the dark Rex, especially with the glam that it shows. We've got the Loot Llama, all 3 versions. I know that specifically at one point in time that MD wanted the 10-inch Loot Llama. I'm not sure if he ever got it or not. And I know that I think I was mentioning to him that if he didn't get it, that like I would buy it for him at one point, but like that never ended up happening. We've got Tomato Head, which is one of your main skins actually that you use. So it's pretty cool that they have a Funko Pop of it.
All right, so I guess I'll kick off with Crackshot. Crackshot looks awesome. He's obviously a nutcracker. You got the candy cane pickaxe, and yeah, he's kind of look like he is throwing up a too sweet there. And I think they did a great job with what this looks like in Funko Pop form, especially because in the way that it's in a Funko Pop, it looks, I guess, I hate using this word for plastic vinyl, but cute. And then you got the actual skin. If you remember seeing the eyes, they're just very scary looking. So looking at that and then turning into Funko Pop form, it's like, okay. Merry Marauder is sweet. It's a gingerbread man, and it translated well. It literally looks exactly like the Merry Marauder skin on Fortnite. It was one of those skins definitely that like you didn't need to change anything. It was meant to be popified. So I think they did a great job with Merry Marauder. Raptor is, I know it's a pretty popular one, but very simplistic because it's just a human in some sort of like outfit. We got the Red-Nosed Raider, which I think is pretty decent. The Christmas skins do look awesome, whether it's re-released on the item shop during Christmas season or essentially just brand new at that time. Skull Trooper, I know, was a very popular skin, especially in Funko Pop form. When the set released, it was part of the very first wave, and I remember Skull Trooper being off the shelves. Skull Trooper looks pretty sweet. To the glow-in-the-dark one, I've never actually seen what the glow looks like, whether it's that nice white or it's like some sort of bluish color. But overall, it does make sense that it's glow in the dark because there is a glow version of the skin on the item shop whenever it arrives. And then the purple one, I believe from research I did, that only releases during Halloween, which definitely makes sense with the purple colors. And there was an ongoing joke between myself and MD Shady that this looks like a wrestling character that he created on his wrestling games called Jason Deliwall, where it looks exactly like this, where it's like this purple and black color scheme. And I told MD to go buy this pop and change the name from Skull Trooper Purple to Jason Deliwall, which would have been funny to have. And it was sitting on our shelf for a while, but it's since gone. The Ghoul Trooper Zombie, that's not too bad looking. I mean, I like the yellow eyes that pop out from the kind of like brownish shadow there, and then the green skin. I think all the colors just pop out very well. Black Knight is not too bad. It's just simply a knight that is black as terms of the color. Bright Bomber is pretty sweet. Actually, recently, I believe on the item shop, within the last couple of days as of recording this was actually on the item shop. And I think the male version for Bright Bomber also was on the item shop. So that's pretty cool. And the metallic version is okay, I guess, because of the pickaxe. But for the rest of the outfit, meh. Codename ELF. I'm a little surprised that actually, I believe this pop is only worth maybe $20 Canadian at most, maybe 25. And I'm saying that because this is a skin that actually has not been on the item shop, little known fact, since I believe January of 2018. So for a skin that has not been on the item shop for that long, it's surprising that the pop is not worth that much. But at the same time, Funko did kind of overdo it with like making a lot of Fortnite pops, not just with each of the waves, but each pop involved in that wave. And like, I don't see codename ELF or codename ELF, as I say, too often, but I mean, it's still a cool looking pop. Cuddle Team Leader, obviously it makes sense for the flocked version because it is a teddy bear. It's still a very popular skin, especially because there is another version that is also in a Funko Pop form that we will discuss about in a little bit here on the podcast. And they both look good. And I think MD actually has that flocked Cuddle Team Leader, if I'm not mistaken, even though he has only played Fortnite a couple of times, but does not or has not played it in a long time. And I keep telling him, come on, squat it up with Robbie D and I. And it's like, no, I'll just play NHL. Overall, Cuddle Team Leader looks cool. High Rise Assault Trooper, I felt should not have been a pop because I find that this was definitely one of those pops that sat on the shelf. And I think I still see at our local GameStop to this day in the clearance section. I mean, it's not really appealing. It's just, I feel like the more human characters are not appealing compared to either the skins that are like animals or they're food related. Love Ranger is pretty decent, and I think the metallic does make sense for the Best Buy exclusive because of like the way that the face is, and I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be stone-like, so I think that it makes a lot of sense to be metallic, and it looks really good for the metallic effect. Tower Recon Specialist, basically the same thing I'm going to mention about the High-Rise Assault Trooper. It's just a simplistic human character, not really that appealing, it looks like, from a different licensor. And then Sparkle Specialist is pretty decent looking. I like the overall detail, but not really appealing to me. Moonwalker, pretty decent. It's basically an astronaut that looks cool wearing the sunglasses, but it's in a simplistic pose, which I mean, I guess you couldn't really do much with Moonwalker. Dark Voyager is okay, I guess. Once again, it's very simplistic, not really appealing all that much. And I still have not seen the glow in the dark version that was a New York Comic Con exclusive either, because as you can see in the photo, the glow in the dark is green, which is so weird. You would never think that a black pop would bring out a green glow to it. So I'm really interested to see how that looks. Rex, once again, Rex was a pretty popular Fortnite skin. I believe this one sold out with the Skull Trooper when it first came out, and then that's why they made the glow-in-the-dark version later on because of how well the Rex sold. But obviously that glow probably looks nice because, as I've mentioned 1,001 times on our YouTube videos, green is the best color when it comes to glow-in-the-dark. Burnout, this is pretty decent. Clearly a race car driver. It would have been kind of cool if maybe there was a rides with it, maybe, but at the same time, I haven't played Fortnite for that long to even know much about the Burnout skin, especially because this was one of the first skins to come out. And then we got Raven, which looks pretty decent. I like the pink eyes that stand out from the whole black attire. Havoc, which is okay, but once again, simplistic human with kind of like a camouflage outfit, so not really appealing. Triceratops, I kind of find Triceratops to be like, if you look at Rex, that's Gucci. And then you look at Triceratops, it's Walmart. It's kind of gives me that vibes where it's like a knockoff Rex. But overall, I guess, I mean, if you have to have the male version of the dinosaur, you got to have the female version to have the female audience of Fortnite players buy some of these Funko Pops. So I guess that's why it was made. But I believe that's also a shelf sitter still at our current GameStop. Dark Vanguard, have no idea what the glow looks like. The photo we're looking at, it's showing off like a pink effect, but it might be not actually pink. It's just showing that it does glow, but overall it's all right. Battlehound, I think, is a cool looking pop, non-glow in the dark, and that it didn't need to be glow. But at the same time, obviously, the only thing that glows is the green eyes, which I think is all right, but I just didn't think it needed to be glow in the dark. The loot llama, which the best way I can explain a loot llama is that obviously it's not actually a llama. I think the best way to put it is that it's a pinata that you're able to shoot at, and then the bar lowers down as you're shooting at it for the health level of the loot llama. And then once it goes, then it basically explodes. And then there's obviously different loots like chug splashes and all that in there, exactly the same way as if you had a pinata, you're smashing it with a stick or a bat, and then you're doing it until the candy or whatever's inside falls out. So it was smart on Funko's part to actually do something that isn't a skin as terms of the Funko Pop, especially because I don't see this Funko Pop anymore. So this was one of those pops that definitely sold out very quick when it released. And then you have the glow in the dark version, which has actually risen up in price a lot. I think is actually one of the most expensive Fortnite pops, considering that a lot of the Fortnite pops aren't really that expensive, actually. And then the 10-inch version kind of makes sense. And to answer your question there, I don't think MD ended up ever getting that 10-inch loot llama. Tomato Man, as I would call him, but Tomato Head is amazing. My favorite Fortnite skin that my favorite Fortnite skin that Epic has ever produced, but obviously is the one and only Fortnite pop I have in my collection. This is the pop that essentially got me into Fortnite, still playing to this day and doing this podcast right now because of the idea behind it and how it's a tomato and it's got this outfit involving pizza. The axe that it's holding is a pizza cutter, just a giant pizza cutter with cheese falling off of the edge. It is so unique. I love when Epic comes up with these cool skins that are kind of like food related and they do this twist to it. That's why I feel like a lot of the favorite skins from Fortnite are ending up like food related, because obviously everyone loves food. And especially, I don't really know anyone who doesn't like pizza unless maybe you're lactose intolerant and you can't have pizza. But overall, wicked skin. I can't wait for the possibility of Funko making different versions of Tomato Head in pop form, which I'm surprised they haven't yet because of the popularity of the skin. And last but not least, I guess, would be Leviathan. And this is pretty cool. I mean, you got this astronaut outfit, but the head is essentially a fish. It gives that effect of like Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a little bit. This is really cool. I know that this was also a popular pop when it released because it came out in the same wave as Tomato Head. And I remember it was Leviathan and Tomato Head that sold out within a week when you seen basically a full wall of Fortnite pops. And then a lot of them just sat there for a while before taking a while to actually sell out. Next up, we're going to talk about the skins that were featured on Chapter 1, Season 4 of Fortnite. So kicking off here, obviously starting off with Season 4 of Chapter 1, we have ourselves Omega, which is a legendary skin that was featured on the Season 4 Battle Pass. And I guess the rest of the skins I should mention were also featured on the Season 4 Battle Pass, which is Zoe, which is an epic skin, and Valor, which is a legendary skin. Going on to Season 5 of Fortnite, we have Ragnarok, which is a legendary skin. There's a common version of the pop, and there is a glow-in-the-dark version of the pop that was exclusive to Walmart involved in a Pop and Tea bundle, I believe. Drift, which is also a legendary skin, a part of the Season 5 Battle Pass. PANDA Team Leader, which is a legendary skin, and it was released during Season 5, not a part of the Battle Pass, but released on the item shop at some point. Wild Card, which is a legendary skin during Season 5. Galaxy, which was a Samsung exclusive, which I'll get into how it was a Samsung exclusive when I talk about this pop. Going on to season 6, both of these pops I'm going to talk about were from the season 6 battle pass, which we have ourselves DJ Yonder, which is an epic skin, and Giddy Up, which is also an epic skin. Season 7, we had Frozen Raven, which was released during the Frozen series, which I believe that meant that you can get it on the item shop, but not as a singular. I think it's one of those like bundle packs. You have to pay like, I think it's like $21.99 or something. And you get a couple of different skins with a couple of different like pickaxes and like loading screen skins, stuff like that you would see in those packs. And then you also have Fish Stick, which is a rare skin. Moving on to the season 8 battle pass, we have 2 pops of first Peely, which is an epic skin, and Blackheart, which is a legendary skin. And then the last set of pops, with 2 of them being released during the battle pass and 1 of them during the season. From season 10, first off, we have ourselves Ultima Knight, which is a legendary skin, The Scientist, which is a legendary skin, and Eternal Voyager, which is an epic skin, which The Scientist is the skin that was not during the battle pass.
We got the PANDA team leader or Panda team leader. Looks really nice. Wild card, which I see in the item shop every now and again, and I kind of debate whether or not I want to get it, but I don't end up getting it. I know they have a variant of it on the game where I think it's like a lucky one where like it has like a clover or whatever for like St. Patrick's Day and all that. But yeah, overall, wildcard looks pretty nice as well. I do like Galaxy. Galaxy looks pretty detailed with the purple and the white and everything, and like the body of it looks pretty amazing with like different stars around it and everything. Looks really, really nice. Fish Stick, obviously one of those characters that you see as an NPC during games mostly. We don't really see many people actually wearing this skin. It's a nice one, definitely. I do like Giddy Up as well. The fact that it's like a guy riding a llama, it's pretty funny, but I think it's just the way that the outfit looks. Next, obviously, probably one of my favorite skins in Fortnite is Peely. I really wish that I did start playing Fortnite around this time where I could get the skin, but like I said, I didn't start playing until like chapter 2 season 6, so I was a little late on that. But overall, yeah, Peely, definitely one of my favorite skins.
Okay, so kicking off, obviously, it would be chapter 1 season 4, Omega. This is a pretty decent looking skin, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Omega was a part of the Save the World storyline, and that's how it was created as a skin. I could be wrong. I know for sure, I think Ultima Knight was a part of the Save the World from little research I did, which it looks pretty decent. Zoe looks really cool, candy-like attire, so I feel like even though it is like a human skin, it is very, I guess, relatable, and especially girl fans. Valor, I find Valor to be one of the more like detailed, I guess, boring skins. Like it looks cool, but it doesn't really gravitate to me all that much. Ragnarok, very detailed skin overall, and it looks good in Funko Pop form. The glow in the dark one, I felt what they should have done is not made this version, but made the one that I believe you can currently get on the item shop in that bundle. I think it's still going on, if I'm not mistaken, where it's like lava Ragnarok. I can't exactly remember. It's like the huge fire bundle that you're able to get, like I mentioned about the Frozen series, where it's just like you get it and then like there's a bunch of skins that come with it with a different version of already existing skins. But I felt like that's what they should have done instead of just having the same color and then making that glow, especially because blue, once again, like I've mentioned about 1,001 times on like YouTube videos here on the channel, blue isn't always the greatest color glow in the dark, unless your name is Khonshu from Moon Knight, which you guys definitely, I guess, a cheap plug here, should check out our monthly giveaway going on the channel right now for the glow in the dark Khonshu, because the glow is mint. Drift looks really cool. I like the mask, but that's basically the only thing. And then I think it's just obviously a human behind it. PANDA team leader. This is what I meant about Funko ended up capitalizing on a popular skin like Cuddle Team Leader and making the different versions in Funko Pop form, which I think is something that Funko, I felt, kind of lacked in as terms to pops. I know they're trying to appeal to a lot of different people as terms to fans of Fortnite, but I think it's kind of the backwards of what essentially Funko has been doing that they should have done. Is Funko's known for making a lot of different versions of the same characters instead of making different ones. But I feel like for a game like Fortnite, Funko should have concentrated on focusing on what skins sell very well. And then they make those versions of those skins to resell those and only make certain skins into pop form. So, I mean, this one sold well. I remember this was also one of the ones that flew off the shelf when it released. Wild card. This is one where I felt that Funko could have done the first ever chase pop for a Fortnite character where you just have different version of the skin. I feel like they could have pulled that off with a lot of pops, especially because you had like the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic pops where there's 6 pops and they all have chases. They could have easily done that for essentially the Fortnite pops. And I think some of these Fortnite pops would actually be worth more than what they are. We have Galaxy, which I'm going to get into right now about how you were able to get this Samsung exclusive. So basically the story behind it is that I believe a couple of different Samsung Galaxy phones had came out during the time of season 5. And when you had upgraded it or outright bought the certain phone, I think the one's called like a Note 9 and the other was a Galaxy something. It was either one of those 2 phones that you had to get, and then you got a code to type into essentially, I guess, the item shop, and then you get the skin that way. So realistically, at this point, this could be one of, if not the most rare skin in Fortnite right now. And originally, I remember thinking about possibly buying every single skin that Funko has made a pop of in the item shop, but I clearly can't do that, especially with this Galaxy skin, especially because the code probably no longer exists, and so it's probably only a limited time to get this. DJ Yonder is okay. I mean, the head sculpt is pretty decent. It looks like a llama, but overall, I mean, the clothing looks good, but it's not one of my favorites. Giddy Up is really cool because it's a guy in like an outfit where he is riding a llama, but obviously he's not actually riding a llama, so that's pretty decent. The Frozen Raven looks pretty cool, and this is a pop that should have been glow in the dark because I feel like the white and especially those blue eyes there would probably glow pretty decently. Fish Stick, I fucking hate Fish Stick so much, and I mean, it's not because of just the overall skin. It was a very popular skin. And it still is a popular skin you see on Fortnite every now and again. Epic releasing different versions like the Aqua one, or I can't exactly remember the name of it, but Robbie knows what I'm talking about. I hate Fish Stick because I'm pretty sure the skin that I have been killed the most on this game since playing is anyone who uses Fish Stick. So it's kind of a personal gripe, but it did translate well into pop form. And like I mentioned, this was involved, I believe, in the same wave as Tomato Head and the Leviathan. And this was one of the pops that ended up selling very well for the Fortnite lineup. Then we got ourselves Peely. Peely's really awesome. I do enjoy this. It's a banana. I mean, who doesn't like a banana? Just a simple banana. It's such a simplistic skin that seems like it would be lazy, but it's so awesome. It's a walking banana with legs and arms, and people bought this pop when there was so much. I remember there being like 6 Peelies on the shelf at my local GameStop, and within a week, all 6 of them sold out, and the rest in that wave, which I can't remember what was in that wave, were shelf sitters for like months, and I'm talking like 6 months to a year. So when you have simplistic food skins that people can kind of relate to, it's going to sell well. And Peely looks awesome. And I'm once again surprised that they did not capitalize on making different versions of Peely into Funko Pop form. Blackheart, this is pretty decent looking. I do like the overall detail involved with this character. And especially, I think this was also recently on the item shop now as I think about it. And yeah, it looks pretty decent. Ultima Knight, this is okay. I mean, I like the gold outfit and the eyes that are like red and they shine like that, but not really appealing to me. The Scientist definitely makes sense because including the storyline currently, I believe, in Fortnite that involves the Scientist and the Foundation. So like the Scientist still has some sort of involvement in the storyline. So it's understandable of why they made the skin into a Funko Pop. And then Eternal Voyager, which would be the last pop for essentially chapter 1 overall, looks really awesome. They pulled this off very well. All right, so we're now going to move on to the last section of Funko Pops, which would take place during Chapter 2, Season 1 and 2, which is so weird to think that this would technically be the newest seasons as terms to Funko Pops, considering we are now, as of the recording of this podcast, is Chapter 3, Season 3, where the main Battle Pass skin is Darth Vader. So it's kind of weird how we're that far ahead, but at the same time, Funko has not made Fortnite Pops it's probably been about 2 years, maybe 1 year at this point, and I'm not going to count that newly released Bright Bomber Ryu Street Fighter crossover because that was kind of a pointless pop, and we will not be talking about that pop on this podcast, considering we already talked about Bright Bomber on the podcast just now, and I just felt like it was pointless to kind of add that in there. It's just Fortnite specifically. So anyways, Chapter 2, Season 1 and 2, talking about Season 1 first, we have ourselves the Ripley skin, which was a Slurp series skin. So you can only get it in the Slurp series. It's not some sort of a level like Epic or Legendary. This was a San Diego Comic-Con 2020 shared with Walmart exclusive. And this was a part of the Chapter 2 Season 1 Battle Pass. We got ourselves 8-Ball, which was an epic skin, also a part of the Battle Pass of that very same season. Scratch, which is an epic skin, also a part of the Battle Pass. Bash, which is a legendary skin of that season, not a part of the Battle Pass, but this was also a New York Comic Con 2020 shared with Walmart exclusive. Midas Shadow, which is a legendary skin, a part of the Chapter 2 Season 2 Battle Pass legendary skin. Meowskulls, which is an epic skin, a part of that same Battle Pass. And last but not least, Tina, which is an epic skin, also involved in that Chapter 2 Season 2 Battle Pass.
Kicking off with Ripley, probably one of my favorite announcements from that con. That was a couple years ago now, I'm pretty sure. Really detailed. I really like this pop, and I thought that when this announcement came out at the time, I kind of popped huge for, because I mean, I like the blue and the black color scheme together and everything. And overall, this pop looks really nice. 8-Ball, also a pretty decent looking pop. And I know that you could also have the 8-Ball back bling as well. So like the backpack or whatever that you have on or something. Anyways, really nice. Then we have Scratch, which I'm not really sure of. I haven't seen this at all, so I don't have much to say on it. And it doesn't really stand out to me. Bash, another llama looking skin, looks really nice in pop form. I like the detail on it. Then we got Midas Shadow. Obviously, everything Midas touches, well, not everything, but most of the things that Midas touches turns to gold. And obviously, this is a gold pop with a nice looking outfit that he has on and everything. Then we've got Meowsicles. I like the tuned Meowsicles better, but they don't have it in a Funko Pop form. I don't have much else to say on Meowsicles. It is a really nice pop, but doesn't stand out to me too much. And then Tina, not much to say otherwise. Good outfit, good detail, but looks like a simplistic pop to me.
All right, kicking off with Ripley. Ripley's a cool skin. And actually, I believe one of those items on the item shop where it's like $21.99, you get a bundle of different skins, are like somewhat based off of Ripley right now, where it's kind of got that effect of like it's a head inside of something else. And I really like how they did the head sculpt, where it's kind of like translucent on the outside and you get like that head block. I don't exactly know what it is. It's not a fish, but it's some sort of head inside of something else. And I think they did a really great job of putting it into pop form because it looks almost identical to the actual skin on Fortnite. And I think it would have been cool if maybe they added a pickaxe, because I believe the pickaxe is like pretty unique from what I last remember that goes along with this. But overall, this thing did sell very well, and it is one of the more high-priced Funko Pops from Fortnite, as well as a lot of the Comic-Con exclusives, I believe, are the more higher-priced pops for Fortnite, considering they didn't mass produce it like a lot of the commons. 8-Ball, this is pretty decent. I mean, it's once again kind of very simplistic, where it's simply an 8-Ball. There's no eyes, there's no nothing, and then it's in a suit. And then Scratch, I believe the reason that you're mentioning that you've never really seen Scratch before is because Scratch is actually 8-Ball. When you buy the 8-Ball skin on the item shop, and remember it, Scratch is kind of the other skin that goes along with it when you have the two choices on which skin that you want as terms to whenever you buy a skin, because a lot of skins you have two different kinds or it's just one different kind. Like especially going back to my boy Tomato Head, he has two different versions. It's the regular stuff as you see with the Funko Pop, and then you have like the wooden spoons and forks crown version that goes with Tomato Head. So that's probably why you didn't see it on the item shop, because it goes along. So I did find it kind of weird that they separated it instead of, like I mentioned earlier, they could have done a common and chase for Fortnite in which the 8-ball could be the common because obviously 8-ball is more appealing than just a white face. And then you make Scratch as the chase. So I don't know. That was a little bit of a missed opportunity, but overall, maybe there are people that just like Scratch more than 8-ball, but I don't know. I kind of highly doubt that for some reason. Bash, at first, I remember I was very disappointed about this announcement. And I think it was because I remember the day. So there was New York Comic Con reveals. I could vividly remember this. And it was like day 2, I believe. And like Funko was like, it still to this day might have been like the greatest day of reveals. And they were pumping up like fire after fire. It was like, all right, Simpsons, another Simpsons. And then they announced something that was great. Like if anyone can remember that day of like New York Comic Con reveals from 2020, like day 2, I remember it being. And there was like Pokemon pops. I remember that day. So it was like fire, fire, fire. And all of a sudden they announced the Fortnite pop. And I thought, great. This possibly ruins the afternoon, possibly even the entire day. But no, overall, I mean, the Bash one is okay. And I believe this actually did not retain that much value considering it is a Comic-Con exclusive. But what I do respect about this, and I actually realized this because this skin, I believe, is on the item shop as we are recording this because it released at 8 p.m. last night, I think. And what I realized is that this isn't actually the main version of the Bash skin. It's one of the other versions that you can choose from because I believe Bash is more of a dark color and then you have 2 other choices with it. But I do respect it because Funko chose what I believe is the best version of the 3. So that's what I'm also kind of liking about these Fortnite skins, especially I guess I'll go to Midas Shadow, where Midas is the same thing. There is a main skin, I believe, and then there's 2 different versions, including Midas Shadow, which I believe is the more popular of the skins. So I feel like this is where Funko was starting to get a little smarter as terms to choosing skins for pops. They weren't making so many big waves and they were really picky on certain versions of the skins. So I'm glad that especially with these 2, these were the best ones of both Bash and Midas. Meowskulls, I think this was the more popular one of the 2. I can't exactly remember because I remember this was a wave that came out, or I should say supposed to come out in early 2020. And then the pandemic happened and these were delayed. So I think by the time that these came out, only I believe Meowskulls was the top seller of that wave. And then you kind of seen like 8-ball and all that kind of be shelf sitters by the time it released. And I barely seen Tina also. And I think it was like a low stock. So that's why I didn't see it. So maybe 1 or 2 people picked it up and that was it. It wasn't like huge stock like you've seen with the previous waves, but Meowskulls is pretty cool. I like the concept of essentially a jacked cat. That's something, once again, I'm going to keep mentioning it. Fortnite and Epic come up with these cool skins that either involve animals or food, and Meowskulls is one of them. And then Tina, really cool. He's got the Boom t-shirt. And I guess this skin would probably go well with that emote that is on the item shop. It might even be on the current loop of the item shop as we're speaking of like the Bim Bam Boom emote. I feel like that would go well with that. But overall, I do like the stick of dynamite she's holding in her hand. Really cool. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on to the Funko Pops we want to see next in the Fortnite lineup. But I'll start off with Robbie in case he mentions some that obviously that I would have on my list and that I don't need to repeat myself realistically.
Okay, the first pop that I had thought of was a pop that definitely should make sense. It's a skin that was in the Chapter 2 Season 6 Battle Pass, I believe, and that is Raz. It is one of the first skins that I started using when I played Fortnite. Like I said, when my cousin gifted me the Battle Pass, this is the one that I mainly used. Another pop that I would like to see is the Canadian Muggle Master. It's one of my main skins that I use. I kind of use it because based off of one of my favorite streamers, Nick A30, he is actually the one that uses the skin the most. I really like the Canadian Muggle Master, and I think that Epic and Fortnite, did a great job with it. Moving on to the next pop I'd like to see is Lieutenant John Lama. He was in one of the most recent battle passes, I think a couple seasons ago now, and overall, really great character, and I think Funko should definitely capitalize on it. Another skin I would like to see made into a Funko Pop is the Foundation. He is currently in an ongoing storyline in Fortnite right now. Basically, he was introduced just near the end of last season or beginning of this season, roughly. And overall, I think that, yeah, it makes sense. We have the scientist pop already. And you mentioned earlier also the foundation. So we need to see a pop of the foundation. And finally, I chose Frozen Peely as a pop that we should see next. I absolutely loved being able to get Frozen Peely as a part of the Christmas event that they had.
I feel like these are all some pretty nice contenders. First skin I have is Hot House, which obviously, if you guys look at the screen, Hot House is what I call the Undead Tomato Man. This is a pop that I feel like this is where Funko should capitalize on making more Tomato Man or Tomato Head pops, where essentially he is more like Halloween and undead. The eyes have X's in them, and you can even make it glow in the dark because there is the glow in the dark version as one of the 2 skins that go along with it when you buy it on the item shop. And I believe it's an epic, if I'm not mistaken. So it is 1,500 V-Bucks. Next skin I have is Sour Gumbo. And I chose specifically Sour Gumbo because just the colorway looks awesome. This is one that should be glow in the dark because A, it looks good when you play at night in Fortnite, and B, like I've mentioned, I guess I can say 1,002 times, that green is an amazing color when it glows in the dark. The next skin I have listed here, Peely Bone. My favorite version of Peely. It is Peely when he is half banana and half skeleton form. This will actually be releasing soon on the item shop because the Halloween event is coming up for Fortnite, and I missed out on it last year, and I think this year I will finally get it from the item shop and add it to my list of skins. So it'd be awesome to have it in pop form, especially because Funko is very great at making popified skeleton heads. So to make it the skeleton head for there, and then you add the bones for obviously the skin, that would be awesome. We know that Funko can do a great job on that pop. Next one I have is the Bow Bros 4-pack, which is simply the dumpling people. When you buy the skin on the item shop, you actually get 4 versions. So to get basically 4 skins for the price of, I believe, once again, it's an epic skin, so 1,500 V-Bucks. Is a great deal. And I think just doing it all 4 in a 4-pack makes sense. You don't need to, what they do with a lot of Funko Pops nowadays, make 4 singular commons and then later release them as a 4-pack and then slap an exclusive sticker and make one of them glow in the dark or some stupid specification. That just doesn't make sense. Just make it a simple multi-pack that can be exclusive to a retailer, and that's all it should be. Don't separate the pops. And then the last pop I have here, and this was like the number 1 pop that I think they should make, and I don't know how they haven't made it, a Battle Bus Pop Rides. I don't know how Funko had not capitalized on the Battle Bus. It's so weird. They capitalize on Loot Llama, and then they make some of these pointless, but they never made the Battle Pass, not the Battle Pass, the Battle Bus. That would be insane. Like, I don't exactly know how massive the pop would be, especially because it's a Pop Rides, and then you have to have like the hot air balloon to go on top of it. So it might look a little awkward, but I mean, I think it'd be amazing. And I wouldn't exactly know what pop would go with it because of the fact that it's obviously a Pop Rides, and there's obviously always a 4-inch Funko Pop that goes along with a Pop Ride. So, I mean, Funko, if you can figure out a way of releasing a Battle Bus and then maybe add a pop that either it's a variant of something we've already had before or something you've never made before, I think that would be awesome to do as essentially a Pop Rides and to kind of spice things up in the Fortnite lineup, since I know you still have the license for that. Anyways, guys, that is going to be the end of this week's podcast. If you enjoyed this edition of a Funko Popcast on the popular video game Fortnite, make sure you smash that like button. Comment in the comments section below and let us know your favorite Fortnite pops and let us know what you want to see next by Funko in the Fortnite lineup. Press the subscribe button for more content like this podcast and any other videos we do on this channel in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. And if you guys haven't yet, follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at A Funko Podcast. It'll be listed in the description below. But anyways, guys, thank you for listening to this very special edition of A Funko Podcast, and hope to see you guys next time. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here.
Keep on popping.